Hello. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. If the mic is too loud, like I am actually whispering in real life, I had to make the mic like as close as possible towards me so you guys can hear me. So this is a ASMR stream. I am actually sick currently, so if I cough or sneeze, please keep mindful of that, as well as, yeah, so I was like, why not and listen to fire in the background of Dead by Daylight, because it's perfect audio for it. Yeah, so I don't actually know if you guys can actually hear, like, this shit. Oh, by the way, what I'm actually, like, not exactly shaking, but it's like slime. I'm actually very sick at the moment. My skin is on fire, and you can tell by my voice I'm not feeling well. As well as I can't fall asleep at the moment, so yeah. And I can't eat at the moment. All I can eat is like hot food, which burns my tongue. By the way, if you hear my fan going or aircon machine, it's because I got my axolotl today and she needs the tank cold. So if I, like, randomly these days with my streams go out and like have a break, it's because I have to keep an eye on her, because I need to make sure the tank temperature is not above a certain temperature. It needs to stay cold. By the way, later on I will be playing Dead by Daylight in a second, like later. But at the moment I'm just doing this. Actually, let me see if I can actually hear it on party. You might be able to hear it though, so I apologize. So if you guys hear it, I apologize. Party chat, Odo. Okay. Some reason it's not picking up the sound. Party, chat photo. I don't know why, but it won't pick up the sound. I will mute myself on party actually. Just in case Kitty Cat comes in. This is sticky. Actually, I wonder, can I actually put... I'll be back in a second. I'm gonna get something. I told you Kitty Cat went on. Hello? Just wait. I found something for my mic cover. Sorry if that was loud. Now I put a plastic bag over it. Hello. Hello. I'm streaming something at the moment. I'll play Dead by Daylight with you in maybe 2 hours. Just letting you know, I'm muting myself again. Okay. 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 I'm gonna say you guys. I'm trying to like. No, let's check if. Okay, that is. It doesn't want to come out. Okay. Let's try something else. No, not that. Ooh, that might actually do it. Sorry, that's too loud. I'm trying to not like ping. Sadly, my thingy can't pick up a lot of sound. So that's why I hope you guys enjoy the video. I mean, live stream, whatever. So, I decided to name my axolotl all the names combined in the thing. So, I decided to name my axolotl. Suma, Rinyo. Her name is Suma Rinyo. And she is about under 1 year old. She's so pretty. Sleep. You're gonna be tired. Drink water. Get some sleep. Look after yourself. Don't be like me and get yourself sick. You need to look after yourself. You're amazing. Guys, you're wonderful. Everyone makes mistakes. And that's how humans are. We learn from it. If you dream about something you want to do but it's hard to achieve, accomplish it by fighting for what you believe in. But if it's something stupid, then don't do it. Suma, Rinyo. Ah, shit. It's actually cute. That was actually liquid. Okay. I think I'll read the book last, Hopefully that's not too loud. Love. I am actually sick, Panda. But oh well. I'm glad you're having fun, Panda, making fun of me. I am sick. What the fuck was that? But the thing is, I can't sleep. Ironic, isn't it? And also, I can't sleep right now because I have to keep an eye on the tank with the axolotl because I have to keep an eye on its temperature. It can't go above a certain temperature. But how are you, Panda? I hope I feel better soon. Like, come on, my throat hurts like a bitch. My skin feels hot like a bitch. My ears, I got headphones in right now, but when I don't, my ears feel like they're in 24/7, even when they're not. So actually, I'm in a lot of pain right now because even going outside is fucking toxic. That's good. Don't actually. No, I'm not gonna do that. No, my plastic bag. Oh, don't worry, Panda. While I'm doing this stream, I am actually drinking a lot of water. Or else my throat is gonna fucking have a go at me tomorrow. That's good, Panda, that you're doing good. At least you're not sick. I wonder. Fuck that stomach. That's proof that I just drank water. I just fucking drank it. Sorry, I was fanning myself. Actually, I could turn that up. Order. Sorry. Now. Let me tell a story. I'm gonna start reading the book, by the way. So, Panda, if you fall asleep, you fall asleep, okay? Promise of Blood. The Powder Mage, Book 1, Brian Clean something I can't pronounce. For Dad, for never being honest, that I would make it this far, even when you should have been here. You're up anyway. Join the club, I guess. I can't fall asleep even if I tried. I actually had to knock myself out yesterday to fall asleep. Chapter 1. Damn it. Why is the first word fucking hard to read? From now on, I'm just gonna say blank for all the hard words, Panda, and everyone else. I can't be bothered just reading them or trying to pronounce them. Anyway, worn his coat tight, top buttons. Let's just call this dude Jeffrey. Fastened against a wet night air that seemed to want to drown him. He tagged at his sleeves, trying to hurt more, like pull them up or something down to keep him warm, and pick at the front of the jacket, where it was too close by the far around the waist. It would be half a decade since he would even seen this jacket. But when someone came from the king at this hour, there was no time to get his good one from the tailor. Yet this summer coat provided no defense against the chill shaking through the carriage window. The morning was not far off, but Dawn would have a hard time in the fog. Jeffrey would feel it. It was humid even for fall, early spring. In Doubters and chillier than Novice frost, frost, frozen toes. The something in the something. Damn it, I lost where I was. Said it was a bit was bad omen. Yet who listened to these days? It's not these days. Jeffrey reasoned that it would give him a cold and wondered, like I have, wondered where he has been summoned out on a pit-made night like this. I haven't done chapter 1, thank God. Now chapter 2. I'm up to page 2. The carriage approached the front gate of Skyline and moved on without a stop. Jeffrey clenched at his pants legs and peeked out at the window. The guards were not at the post. Odder still, as they continued along the wild path amongst the forest. Forest of footings, whatever. There was no lights. Skyland had so many lanterns it could be seen all the way from the city, even on the cloudiest night. Tonight the garden was dark. Jeffrey was fine with this. Men, ouch, use enough of their taxes for his personal amusement. Jeffrey stared out into the gardens at the black where the something maze begin. Imagined shapes fitting back and forwards in the lawn. What was just a sculpture. Sit back, took the deep breath. Jeffrey sat back and took the deep breath. I forgot his name. He could hear his heart beating, thumping, thumping, frightened. His stomach tightening. Perhaps they should light the garden lanterns. A little part of him, the part that had once been a police exploring nights such as these for the thieves and pickpocketers in the dark alleys, laughed out from the inside. Still your heart, old man, he said to himself. You were once the eyes. Staring back from the darkness, the carriage jerked to a stop. Jeffrey waited for the coachman to open the door. He might have waited all night. The driver ripped on "You're here," in a grumpy voice said, rude. Jeffrey stepped from the couch, just having time to snatch his hat and cane before the driver flicked the rails and was off, clattering into the night. Jeffrey uttered a quick curse after the man and turned around, looking up at Skyline. The nobly called Skyline Palace, the jewel of whatever. It rested on a high hill, east of Abducted, so that the sun rose above it every morning. Once one particular bold newspaper had compared to it to a starving wearing a diamond ring. It was an compassion in these learned times. The king's pride doesn't fill the people's bellies. He was at the main entrance. By day, it was a grand of marble books and phoenicians, all leading to a pair of silver. Page 3 now, Panda, yay! Plated doors themselves, dwarfed by the shade, blah blah blah, of the biggest single building in blah. Jeffrey listened for the soft footfalls of pounding. He who should not be named, it was said. I was joking, by the way. I'm just gonna call him Harry. It was said the king's personal guard was everywhere in these gardens, watching every scheduled corner. Miss always loaded. Bound ones fixed in their grey and white stashes and sober amongst the green and gold something. But there was no footfalls, nor was the fountains running. He would hear once that the fountains only stopped for the death of the king. Surely he would have not been summoned here if Menhunt was dead. He smoothed the front of his jacket. Here, next to the building, a few of the lanterns were lit. A figure emerged from the darkness. Jeffrey tightened his grip on his crane, ready to draw the hidden sword inside at a moment's notice. It was a man in a uniform, but little could be deceived in such little light. He held a rifle or mixed trained loosely on Jeffrey, and worn a flat-topped cap with a stuff something. Only one thing could be certain: he was not Hinman Harry. The tall punch hats were easy to recognize. They never went without them. "You alone?" a voice asked. "Yes," Jeffrey said. He held up both hands and turned around. "All right, come on." The soldier urged forward and yanked one of the mighty silver doors. It rolled outward slowly, pounding despite the main man putting his weight into it. Jeffrey moved closer and inspected the soldier's jacket. It was a dark blue with silver braiding. I'm just gonna say La La Land military. In theory, the military report to the king. In practice, one man hold their leash. Filled something. "Step back, friend," the soldier said. There was a note implanted in his voice. Some unseen stress, but that could have been the weight of the door. Jeffrey did as he was told, only coming forward again to slip through the entrance when the soldier gestured or something, I don't know. Page number 4, Panda. Go ahead, the soldier directed. Take a right at the something and head through the diamond hall. Keep walking until you find yourself in the answering room. The door inched shut behind him, closed with a muffled thump. Jeffrey was alone in the palace. Lalaland military, he assumed. Why would a soldier be here on the grounds without any sign of the Harry? The most frightening answer springing to mind first, a power struggle. Had the military been called in to deal with a rebellion? There was a number of powerful friction within Edo. The wings of something, the royal something, the mountain watch, and the great noble families. Any one of these could have been giving men ouch trouble. None of it makes sense though. If there has been a power struggle, the palace grounds would be a battlefield or destroyed outright by the royal cabal. Jeffrey passed the something, a great of Adam's crown, Adram's crown, and noted it was in bad taste, as a rumor had it. He entered the diamond hall, where the walls and the floors were infected axes in a gold leaf, and thousands of tiny gems, which gave the room its name, glittered from the ceiling in the light of a single lit carousel something. The tiny flames of the candle flickered as if in the wind, and the room was cold. Jeffrey's sense of uneasy deepened as he neared the end of the gallery. Not a single sign of life, and the only sound came from his own echoing footfalls on the metal floor. A window has been shattered, explaining the chill. The results of one of the king's famous temper tantrums or something else. He could hear his heart beating in his ears. There, behind a curtain, a pair of boots. Jeffrey passed his hand before his eyes, a flick of the light. He stomped over to reassure himself and pulled back the curtain. A body laid in the shadows. Jeffrey bent over it, touched the skin. It was warm, but the man was most completely dead, similarly dead. He wore grey pants with a white strap down the side and a matching jacket. We're on page 3 now. Promise of the blood. I meant page 5. A tall hat with white plaid laid on the floor some ways away. A hairy man. The shadows played on a young, clean-shaved face, peaceful except for a single hole in the side of his skull. The dark, wet stain on the floor. He would be right. A struggle of some kind. Had the Harrymen rebelled and the military had been brought in to deal with them. Again, it didn't make any sense. The Harryman was loyal, fascinating loyal to the king, and any matters within the Skyland Palace would have been dealt with by the royal cabal. Geoffrey cursed silently, every question compound itself. He suspected he would find some answers soon enough. Geoffrey felt the body behind the curtain. He left his crane and twisted, bare a few inches of steel, and approached a tall doorway flickered by two hoods, weathering sculptures. He paused between the ancient statues and took a deep breath, letting his eyes wander over a set of scripts straighter into the portal. He entered. Excuse me. The entering room made the Hall of Diamonds look small. A pair of staircases, one to each side of him, and each as wide across as 3 couches laid to a high gallery that ran the length of the room on both sides. A few outside the king and his king of sorcerers ever entered this room. In the center of the room was a single chair on this hand of the floor, facing a community of knee pillows, where they acknowledged their language or whatever. The room was well lit, though from no source of light. A man sat on the stairs to Fred's Fred's right. He was older than Fred, just into his 60th year, with grey, silver hair and a neatly muscle that still remained a bit of tin black. It had a strong but not overly large jaw, and his bone cheeks were well defined. His skin was dark by the sun, and there was deep lines at the corner of his mouth and eyes. He wore blue. Soldier's uniform with silver of a powder key pinned above the heart. I know you are. And 9 gold serge straps sewed on the right breast, one for every 5 years in La Land's materially. His uniform locked on officers' thingies, but the wary experience in the man's brown eye left no question that he would lead armies on the battlefield. There was a single bullet hammered lock on the stair next to him. He laid on a small sword and watched as a stream of blood slowly trickled down each step. A dark line on the yellow and white the floor. Field Marshal Tenders. I'm gonna say his name is now Tenders. Fred said. Or Jeffrey. Fred. Same thing. His shelter his crane sword and twisted until it clicked shut. The man looked up. I don't believe we have ever met. We have, Fred said, 14 years ago. A charity ball thrown by Lord Adams. I have a terrible time with faces, the field marshal said. I apologize. Frank couldn't take his eyes off of blood. Sir, I was summoned here. I wasn't told by who or for what reason. Yes, the old man said. I summoned you on the of one of my marked. He said you served together. I'm sorry. Please wait. He said you served together on the police force in the 25th district. Fred pictured something in his mind. He was a short man with an unruly beard and a pendant for wines and fine food. He would... I think I was supposed to say, like the person who buys wine and food, you know. He would see him last 7 years ago. I didn't know he was a powder mage. We tried to find anyone within for it as soon as possible, but it was a last burner. In any case, he waved a hand. We have come upon a problem. Fred blinked. You want my help? The field marshal raised an eyebrow. Is that such an unusual request? You were once a fine police investigator, a good servant of Adro, and C tells me that you have a perfect memory. Still, sir, I'm still an investigator, not with the police, sir, but I still take jobs. Excellent. Then it's not so odd for me to seek your services. Well, no. But, sir, this is Skyline Palace. There's a dead Harrisman in the diamond halls, and he pointed at the stream of blood on the stairs. Where's the king? I'm just gonna call him Tom instead. Tom turned his head to the side. He locked himself in the chapel. You have staged a trap, Jeff said. He caught a glimpse of movement with the corner of his eye. Saw a soldier appear at the top of the stairs. The man was Deval, a dark-skinned Northerner. He wore the same uniform as Tom's, with 8 golden straps on the right breast. The left breast of his uniform was displayed a silver paladin, a sign of a marked. Another powder mage. We have a lot of bodies to move. The Dean said, gave his subordinate a glare. I know. Who's this? The inspector there requested. She requested. I don't like him being here. Simbon said. It could promise everything. C trusted him. You have staged a cult. Fred said again with some sleep. I will help with the bodies in a moment. Tom said, I'm old and I need some rest now and then. The dove gave a sharp nod and disappeared. Sir, Jess said, what have you done? He tightened his grip on his crane sword. Tom's pierced his lips. Some said the royal had the most powerful resources in all the 9 nations, second only to. Yet I have just slaughtered every one of them. Do you think I would have trouble with an old inspector and his crane sword? Fred loosened his grip and he felt ill. I suppose not. I can tell you right now, I do not want to finish the book. I got up to like one of the most annoying parts. Sorry, things are flying off. My nose is currently running, which is fucking annoying. Sorry, I had to take a I'm using a toilet roll to just talk to you guys instead. I she's going into the tunnel, like, it's a log tunnel. So she's like, how do I explain it? She's like going into the tunnel, like because my throat's starting to hurt. Okay, Panda? I can't. Aww. Look what you did, Panda. No, she's not gonna go into the tunnel. Let's try to make her go into the tunnel. But she heard you. By the way, fun fact about I forgot what the fuck her Zuma renew a good a good thing about fun fact. She is nocturnal. In other words, she is still awake during the day, but she doesn't move as often because it's too bright. So she moves during the night, like she is now, and she's happy. She's a little bit stressed, but she's happy, which is a good thing. But the one thing I have to do is I actually have to change we're pretty much putting these ice cooling shit into the tank, which isn't causing any of the fish harm or the axolotl. Is actually doing them a favor. So, as you can probably hear, I actually got a fan running at high speed on my desk at the moment, as well as an little aircon to keep her alive, because axolotls need cold temperatures, you know. Ugh. I won't do that. I'm not that cruel. For some reason, I can only see pandas typing, or some. I don't know who's typing, but I can't really see the thingy. You know what's freaking me out at the moment? I got 2 small catfish the size of the axolotl's mouth. Now keep in mind, my axolotl is under a year old, you know? So she is young, like a baby young, you know? So she's still a baby. And pretty much what happened is that axolotls, I don't think they're necessarily blind, but they don't like bright lights, so we have to keep it dull as possible, but not too dull, you know? So yeah, so she's like, I'm just worried she's gonna eat like the small miniature catfish we in there. And you wanna know what my father told me? He's like, I was like, what happens if she eats the cat to Jimmy and Bob in the tank? And pretty much he's like, if she eats them, then oh well. That's what my father's response was. And I was like, wow. I'm trying to find good shit to do. Because if I just do, like, bad shit, then it's just gonna end up terrible. I know, I got the perfect one. I'm just getting slime at the moment. Just give me a second. So yeah, so I'm just worried she's gonna eat the other fish. But no, she's good. I think I just burnt that slime. It's a oxalotl, and it's not a fish. It's a reptile. It's a reptile, not a fish. And it is cool. She is very cool and cute and creepy at the same time. Because you would just be like a little bit away from her, and she would be at the front of the tank just staring at you with a smile. But she's adorable. She's only under a year old, so she's technically still a baby. And in the morning I have to feed. I will make a video of me feeding her in the morning with bloodworms. She loves it, trust me. I almost lost my hand because of her. Her hand was, well, I had tweezers and her like food at the end of it, and she like launched herself at it. She pretty much launched herself at me, and I was like, oh shit. Please don't jump out of the tank because I don't know how to put you back in without a net. and then I fed her just a little while ago because I feed them one in the morning. I feed all the animals one in the morning and one in the afternoon, you know, so they all get fed at the same time every day. So yeah, I am still learning about axolotls. I hope I'm doing the right thing. If I'm not, please let me know, people who do own axolotls. I know there is a chiller thing that I do need for the tank at some point, which I'm getting. By the way, I'll send more videos on TikTok as well as thingy as possible with her, but I don't want to stress her by. By the way, I have not been putting bright lights on her because I know that hurts her eyes. I'm not that stupid. Come on. It's a pretty cool name, isn't it? I came up with it on the spot. But I also done the right thing. I did say it on Saturday. It is now Saturday, turning into Sunday. And my throat has gone to sore again. My throat is killing me, dude. Like, it is an ass. This is disgusting. Where the fuck did that go? I had it right here and now it's gone. I had like a piece of paper to protect the mic. I had to put my headphones in for this stream because because apparently ocelots do not like fucking loud sounds either. So I have to turn my sounds down and keep my voice quiet. Not this quiet though. You know, getting an ocelotl in Australia is fucking expensive. But it's worth it. She's cute. And creepy, but cute. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna be drinking my water for the whole stream. That hurt like a bitch. I ran down on my cough lollies. And I ran out of like hot food. So like soup and shit that actually helped. The only thing I have is chicken noodles technically because some fucker got into my chicken and corn soup. That was disgusting, by the way, for my breakfast. So whoever keeps on eating my food, I hope they get what they deserve because I'm trying to lose my sickness and they're trying to get it. Not a very good thing of common sense right there. Okie dokie. Well, Panda and everyone else, I'll make that video for you after I checked on the thingy. But bye for now. I'm gonna go to bed and get something to eat.